because May should be able to just bully out Eno in a lot of scenarios.
Yeah, I would think so. Eno's going to have that difficulty, right, of all of her dashes ensuring that she goes to the air means that it's going to be a little bit harder for her to dash block. She doesn't have the same sort of, the way her momentum carries is not going to let her cover the screen. But damn, if you're not going to check the dive kick, you are going to get smoked out for that. How much corner carry are we going to have? We sent out the note. Wanted to go in behind it, but the note is not going to connect. And a fantastic burst bait there by Blams. Wham blam, thank you ma'am. Closing out that first round with Casual21 back in the corner.
Yeah, it would have just run up, get the hit, close out the round, and the burst bait was super slick. Waited so long, there was plenty of time for Casual to see that it was a bait and still let it rip anyway. And now we're actually going to see a little bit of the Eno catalog, going for a little mix of their own. Gets the overhead, breaking the wall here with the overdrive.
I'm not sure how I feel about breaking that wall there. You really need to get all the mileage out of this mix-up, which Casual21 immediately did. So, far be it from me to question you. If Blams is not going to block in that situation, then go for it. But had Blams blocked, I would have been worried about that resetting back to neutral in that situation. May definitely has the damage, especially against Eno, to try to bring that back into their favor.
Oh my God!
On the back foot and smokes out the, I think that was a
stroke. Yeah. And you just lost 60% of your health bar for it. Oh my God.
Oh, you thought you could get out, but 2D
again
has such a... The height of that hitbox on 2D to catch Casual21 trying to get out of the corner. That same problem, just like we have a problem of 36 codes left, as it is the top of the evening, so we can tell y'all to go and show some love to that match. As the evening winds down, that will be more of a problem that those codes are there, but you can cash out those codes now. 36 codes is whatever 36 by 4 is. That's $9? Is that some quick math?
Correct.
There we go. I don't appreciate how hard that was for me to contemplate.
Listen, I know that the 50 codes equals $12.50, and so I was already mixed by the math that was currently on the screen, but we're surviving. We're back into it. Blam's currently up 1-0 here over Casual, and already off to a great start.
Okay. Immediate low catch there for Blams, who has the tension for this big wall break. Casual21 keeps having this difficulty now where you make one wrong choice and you just lose your entire health bar. It's one of the problems that I talk about in this game. Not necessarily a problem, but the amount of characters that can so reliably 2 to 3 touch you. And in this matchup, it's definitely going to be a problem for Eno. Smoked out there with the 2K.
Another solid round on the board. Oh, trying to use the chemical love just to dissuade an anti-air attempt. Ended up getting crushed out from below. Back on the offense. And just a regular 5P challenge coming in there from Blams. Gets the turn back. Gets the wall stick. Able to break through. Didn't want to spend the overdrive that time. Holding on to the tension.
Oh my God. Blams is getting a lot of mileage out of, sticking out counter pokes in the right spot and catching out Casual21 trying to move forward. Casual21 should have the damage here if we overdrive. Yes, we do. 1 round apiece here in game 2, but still on the back foot. Blams is gonna actually burst is pretty even for the 2 players right now.
Yeah, and I do like the adaptions that we've been seeing from both sides, honestly.
Oh my God.
We've seen a lot more of a grounded play coming in here from Casual, which is typically the opposite of what we've seen, because Blams has been spending a lot of time in the air, and right now we are getting the grounded offensive coming in from the May. Gets the grab. This could hurt. Oh, that counter hit certainly does.
Oh my God, what a burst bait. Blams actually committed a little bit more than they needed to, but it's these counter pokes that I was talking about. Blams is sticking out like 2P, 5P, 6P, even 2S in a couple of spots in these really smart locations. When is the burst going to come out? Oh my God, Casual21 is playing super burst bait heavy right now. But now we reset back to neutral. Are we going to be able to block the mix? No, we wanted to take the turn with the fishing with the 2K. Any poke will do it, and that will pick it up there for Blams. 2-0 now.
That just block on the Dolphin while in the air was super crucial. I'm genuinely surprised it worked out that way, but shout outs to them for making that work. Unfortunately, they could not block the next jump in attempt. So, like you said, Brad, Blams taking it to a 2-0 lead. Still needs to win one more in order to take the set, but Casual has to turn up. They get to these end round decision-making timelines and then can't quite get it to sync up right.
Yeah, I think part of it is just, you know, Blams is counter-poking in all the right spots. I think they're checking Casual 21's the gaps in their offense really effectively. And May, I think, just once the momentum swings in her favor, it's so drastic for it. I mean, look at that pickup, right? It's not just the fact that that was decent damage for, you know, just a buffer in neutral. It's also that Casual 21 is now on the back foot and has to contend with the ground game from May. You have to deal with trying to engage with her bully-focused offense and just kind of annoying them is taking them down 50% life. Casual 21 has burst and this pickup in the corner. Now we do get the wall break, and we're not going to get Oki off of this because there was no overdrive. But if Blams just lets them go forward in mid-range after, that could be a very different story.
Really nice there, using the PRC to keep the Dolphins safe on whiff, but now you're back against the wall. And that's where Eno wants you to be. Eno's offensive playstyle in this corner is so brutal to block against. There's like 7 overheads, a bunch of lows, and even right here, this is all airborne. Every single hit of that combo was from the sky.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing has definitely been some of these air confirms, right? Eno definitely has the edge on that degree of mobility in this matchup. Oh, when is Blams going to get the burst out? At a certain point, we're going to need a burst. No, we're not going to be able to get it. Casual 21 able to close out Game 3 for themselves with a perfect to round that one out. Blams just didn't get the chance to start playing that time.
Absolutely masterful round there from the Eno player. And that's the opposite side of this coin matchup that we've kind of been seeing, where once that Eno gets rolling and able to do all of the mix-up game, there's a tough time for the Mei to respond. Yeah, you can up Dolphin. Yeah, you can reversal overdrive. But we haven't seen either of those or a burst from Blams. They have been holding on to it quite willingly.
Yeah, I think they're being a little bit more hesitant. Eno's combo routes aren't super long, so I can imagine that it can feel a little bit harder to decide where you burst because, you know, generally if you're bursting in a combo, you want to try to make sure that you're maximizing what you get out of it. And with Eno, like once you sort of visually confirm that you're being hit by a combo, it can feel like, depending on the pickup, that you've already sort of weathered a certain amount of the storm. So instead we see Blams is using it more in these block string sequences. But that's also scary. Casual 21 smoked out by the 5P and a nice 6H start there for Blams. Casual 21 lets this all rock, is gonna die with the burst this round if they get smoked out, but finds the space to move out. They get the nope, but smoked in the air.
Oh, it's a huge opportunity. Uses the drill to get out of the corner, strokes back in, but now you gotta block this red RC, and the overhead finally connects. We've been seeing Blams go for those a few times now finding themselves on set point here over Casual.
Okay, we have the up back out of Casual 21 right into that down air dash to try to control some space. You can see that Blams is using like neutral jump JH now a lot to try to control space a little more, and they get that big pickup. We're gonna have so much damage here. No, we don't get the full combo because we're, you know, not at the right height to get a bigger pickup. Clipped by the low. This is exactly the turnaround that Casual 21 needed.
Looking to get damage out. Oh, the burst was so late it went golden. Oh, they dodged out on the big hammerhead. Is gonna take him to the corner again. Blocks the YRC, but it's not enough. Gets hit by the overhead.
But they didn't believe in the overhead enough to try to red RC in the back. Up back FD. Oh, we do get the pickup. That's going to be enough to do it. And Blam is going to take the first. You know, spending that bar there had potential to be problematic because it lost them out on the tension that they had left. But the way that the subsequent combo worked out for them, they didn't end up needing an RC in order to pick it up. We're picking right up into the next set. No breaks here at the Casa. We want to get everybody in and out, have all your fun, see all the matches, go to bed at a reasonable time. We have Lurry versus Snixy.
Oh, yeah,
Faust versus Zato. So this will be interesting, right? Because I think Faust, if Faust is really active with like 6H and 5H, he could try to keep the screen locked down. But if Zato is ever able to really get started with Pierce like there, the amount of control that Zato can exhibit on the screen is really problematic. And yeah, I mean, you can also invite hell and bounce back the bag. So, you know, the air approach of like dive kick into the bag in the back that you sometimes see Faust go to not super viable. And here you can see Snixy has the life lead and is just sort of willing to be like, well, I'll sit full screen, I'll wait for the item that matters, and I'll play around Eddie. Nice burst through. Oh my god, the oppose off of the invite hell keeps everything locked down. The extra overhead, Lurry wasn't ready. And Lurry with the late burst.
It happened. We get the YRC out of this as well. Now, Faust definitely a struggle bus in this matchup, I feel, but we do see Lurry finally getting something going for themselves. Goes for the instant overhead. Mix, but is losing out to the homies, and that's it.
Oh, goodbye. If a 2H counter hit starter, that's the future all Zato players want. I'm all Zato players. I see counter hit 2H on Zato, I'm like, goodbye health bar. Oppose covers the option there, so the command grab doesn't connect, and just like that, Lurry wants to get out, but you lose out on that exchange because the 2P connect stays same side off of the teleport, and Excalibur is going to pop the wall. Snixy gets good Oki here and has Eddie in the back. What's it going to be? Lockdown. Oh, nice 5P match from Lurry.
Gets another opportunity to play some offense. YRC going to push him back, though, and give Snixy back turn.
Oh, he waited. That was a burst bait built in there. The YRC keeps them safe. But the blue RC backdrift from Snixy extends the recovery frames of the command grab and earns Snixy the first game. And if you like that performance and you want to see our players get paid out, once again, you can use !Matcherino in the chat to go. In fact, I've already used the Matcherino command there for you. All you have to do is click the link, sign in, and claim one of those codes. We are going to hammer you over the head with that a little bit this evening because we don't want you guys to see the R codes and all that stuff. So there's plenty of opportunities for me to remind you, please make sure our players get paid. This money just disappears if we don't use it.
Yeah, it is free money from the Void chat, so you cannot say no. And all you got to do is click the link, log in with an email account, and then claim code. It's that simple. It's truly that easy. And it doesn't cost you a thing. We had somebody last night ask or say that they didn't have any money for claiming codes. That's no worries. It's free of charge. All right, we got the burst
definitely.
out.
Oh my god, a second trumpet comes out. This time Lurry finally gets a trumpet of himself, so Snixy just stays underground the whole time. Problem being, he stayed for long enough that there were extra recovery frames when he came out. It takes longer to recover the longer you're underground.
Makes sense. Mix approach. Definitely punishable. Sends out the drill and the pierce. Oh no, not this. Not like this. Gets back into the corner? Oh,
that is huge. What a side switch. Keeps him locked down, has Oppose in the back.
Regular throw.
Empty jump throw. I love that.
That was
Snixy.
nice command grab.
Yeah, really great from Lurry there. Nice back throw to get this locked down. Snixy finally forced to spend the burst, but literally just calling out Eddie and opposing mid-screen has been Snixy's answer to lock down the screen pretty consistently. Oh, I like the attempt there from Snixy. He went underground while the afro was burning. Oh my god. I'm actually watching on the playback. Was that the bomb? Yeah, the bomb blew towards him and then blew up behind him. Wow. How many item throws did Lurry get there as Snixy just tried to keep it locked down?
Yeah. Lurry definitely having a good time being able to just sit back and throw items. Definitely wishing for a meteor at some point because he hasn't gotten anything. The item... Oh, there you go.
There's the meteors.
Finally coming through. The homies got the connection as well. Nice.
YRC, but a little homie keeps him covered in the back, has the RC. Are we going to be able to keep this locked down? No, the trumpet! The little homie, the betrayal!
That is big betrayal. Jumps underneath, though. Uses the fast RC to keep the mix safe and throw out a mix of his own. Gets the hit. Can't quite stick him to the wall yet, but the hammer's out. The low connects.
You can see that Lurry is playing really tentative with their pokes because Snixy has the burst. So Snixy's going to burst the second that they get the chance to. The trumpet is out. When is the burst going to happen? We're going to want it to be a gold burst or something at a certain point. There's the burst. It does get blocked. When your life is that low, right, you can just sort of stick out pokes and recognize that your opponent needs to spend the burst in order to stay alive. It makes it pretty linear, just like you guys need to follow that line over to CasaBunch.org. There is free shipping for orders over $100, and as we said at the top of the evening, some of this selection of merch is going to be sunset fairly soon, so if you like some of these designs, make sure you come through and grab them so you can show some love at your favorite tournaments, big and small. We'd love to see, we love walking up to people when we see the logo out in public.
It's very nice to see the support in public and in person. Just like you have to support your local Faust players because they are going through it, chat. Just like we're seeing Lurry trying to get a little bit of an advantage here. Having the mini Faust come out, gets the burst already from Snixy. That's a huge W.
Yep. You can see that Snixy is trying to play the ground game a little bit differently. I think Lurry is using items way more than they were, which is making oppose a little bit less useful. Basically what's happening is every time Snixy calls out Eddie at full screen, Lurry is kind of using it as a free item toss, and oppose being in mid-screen only matters so much depending on what item comes out. So we're sort of rolling the dice a little bit, but I think Lurry is doing a much better job of maximizing what they get out of this. What a poke there. The 2S calls out the Drunkard Shade as Snixy tries to send in Eddie behind the oppose.
Yeah, we're seeing danger on the side of Lurry here. Hasn't really been doing a whole lot, not very active. The meteors are going to work out for him, but finally gets counter hit. But the mini homie parade works out, and another bomb on the screen. This has worked out for Lurry in the past. FD.
He has to hold. Yeah, Snixy has to hold FD so much here, blocks the 6H. Dodges out on the weight. This is still doable for Snixy, absolutely, but not if you get smoked out by the dive kick. That was a spot where Snixy definitely wanted to be fishing for like a 6P or a 2H, but they had already committed to leap in the wrong spot. JD, nothing really comes of it.
Oh no, the best starter known to Zatos. Only did so much with it though. Waited for the burst. Here's that reversal. The PRC was super late. Is still successful. Gets jumped in on though with that GD.
Alright, the extra overhead here. Oh my god, Snixy is playing really loose with some of these Eddie combos. I feel like a whole lot, like that's now the second or third hit where I'm fairly certain Snixy should have been able to kill. Does the Rekka cancel for another oppose and just sort of pesters Lurry down in the corner here with 5Ps and 2Ps.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a great button across the cast, so if you know that your opponent can only take one little tap, it makes sense that you can just rip those out if your opponent doesn't have a solid answer. And once again, the bombs again?
Oh
Not
my
working
god.
out for Snixy? That's 2 already this round. How many more can we get here? Sends out the bomb bag. Item, hammer. Oh, the Pierce got blocked by the oppose!
That's huge. Leap comes out and earns Snixy a little bit of room. Lurry has to spend the burst in order to reset back here. Mix with the little homie in the back. The red RC is going to activate the little homie, so Snixy loses their turn.
Oh, and the mix chase down there by the 5H or 2H? I forget the hand number. Oh, you should die here. Oh, 8 is gone!
Oh, blue RC, but it makes the JD hit as a counter hit, and Snixy closes out that round. What a series of events there for Snixy to close out that one. 2-1 now over Lurry. And I gotta tell you, as lanky as Faust looks, Faust looking like Fat Man right now. Where are the roller skates on this man? Looking like MGS2 with the way these explosives are working out for them.
It's true, and they actually both RC'd right at the end there, which is why it seemed so awkward on when I was spectating it. But clearly, JD from Zato is the better button there.
It's a pretty good button.
Yeah, especially with the gravity changes forever ago. Is going to get knocked down there, but trading it right back. Even picks up some bananas for the trouble. Oh, and a trumpet. He's thriving.
Oh no, the bomb is in the back. The amount of Tekken ball that's happening on the screen right now.
Yeah, they're going through it. Uses the float to dodge mini Faust. Super clean. Did get run under though, but it's not going to matter much. And if this round keeps going this way, Eddie's gone. Still using
the same mix-up that Snixy used in that last round as well, with the blue RC back right into JD, setting up that little bit of a fuzzy guard situation. Yeah, red RC will 100% kill here, and Snixy is on set point, really going through it, having to weather the storm of all of these items out of Lurry on the Faust, but we are back at set point, but a strong start here for Lurry. How far are we going to press this before we ignite the Afro? We're not. Snixy doesn't want it.
Yeah, we're just not even going to give him a chance. Just going to wait it out. Afro finally dissipates. Tried to chase down that super jump there from Lurry, but didn't quite get the connection they were looking for. But life still fairly good here for Snixy.
Yeah, red RC Yep, we set up a pose so we get the pickup
Oh,
here.
no.
The pose keeps it safe. What a burst bait. And that is max damage out of Snixy. But we just barely don't have the resources for the overdrive. We are, however, going to get Eddie back right now. Lurry has the mix picked up and uses the opportunity to throw all of the items. There are so many bombs on the screen. Snixy respects them. Oh, the Amorphous!
At worst, oh, he threw another item?
Oh, he threw another item? And Mike Saftig. We are jumping over for another one of our top 32 matches here, Druice and Hamilton Rye.
Yeah, we're going to have Druice coming here on the Sin, believe it or not. This character, patently, not great, I should say. Whereas Soul Bad Guy, he's feasting. Soul Bad Guy players are in full denial right now. Tiger Rave coming out there, though.
Oh, nice pick up there from Druice.
Takes him
Not
through
gonna
the
have
wall.
the resources to get the good Oki off that wall break, but a whole lot of space control. I know Sin hasn't really popped off the way that, you know, people may have wanted out of him, and I know that the, you know, those special stacks aren't as exciting as they were. Jeez. The special stacks aren't as exciting as they were in the older games, but I think he still has some stellar pokes. The amount of space control that Sin has available to him is still really strong.
Yeah, I mean, Beak Diver, obviously still an incredible tool here, even if it's not the bestest tool in the game. But just everything seems like it has plus frames when you have a couple stacks to spend after it. And you can see here Druice going for these Beak Diver, you know, tastes, just trying to get something going in here. The problem is, now that they're in the corner, even the reversal's not ideal. They have a terrible backdash. They're going to get exploded right here. But the defensive options for Sin are where it really starts falling apart.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's not unique to him compared to the rest of the cast. I think one of the things, though, is like there's characters that have poor defensive options that have that are like rush down mix machines, and then there's characters with poor defensive options that are, you know, more space control-y, a little bit more neutral focused. And I think Sin falls in the latter category rather than the former.
He's kind of a worse version of the bad Giovanna, right? When Giovanna wasn't good in Strive after, you know, the couple nerfs that came through before they started giving her a little bit back, that's where Sin kind of is. And the only difference I think is like craziness is that he has an actual DP, right? Like that is where things kind of change up for him defensively. But he also doesn't have a real backdash, Brad. That has to change, I think.
Having a real backdash?
Yeah.
How do you mean? You have officially hit a point where I am a little bit less well versed, so you get to educate me now.
So as it currently stands, Sin's backdash is not airborne at any point, and it is 100% uncancelable, and you have to watch the entire back cartwheel animation. So it's not usable to dodge out on a lot of things, and you're stuck in the animation. So it was really noticeable when everybody was going for the backdash PRC JP to try and get those cheeky overheads, because Sin just literally can't do that at all in any sense of the phrase. So he can get really blown up back in the corner because he doesn't quite have the same, you know, wake up backdash option that other characters do.
Oh my god, the dash cancel pickup off that close slash there from Hamilton Rye was about to get crazy damage opportunity there. We do have the pickup. Oh my god, Hamilton Rye dashed forward. FD wanted to bait some sort of a reversal out, but then still got smoked for it.
And then even there, Hamilton DPing on his own, but these are just some Soul Bad Guy combos coming through. Juggling with the 5K. He is going to take the round, though. Oh, interesting round start.
Was that just 2D round start? Okay, I keep ourselves safe there for a little bit of stamina, fishing with that 6P, but Hamilton Rye went for the regular jump instead of pick up. Clean hit. The cleanest of hits.
That damage was so high for a 3-hit combo.
That was nuts. Sanitized like the Bourbon Trail. Hamilton Rye bringing it all the alcohol to the table to keep this looking as clean as humanly possible for this pickup. What a whiff punish!
Insanity coming through there from Hamilton, taking game 2 lightning quick. Just absolutely speed ran that game, and Oh, man, the damage that Soul Bad Guy puts on the screen is still to this day absurd sometimes. It's great to watch, though. Definitely very entertaining.
I'm still gonna need, you know, Soul players to actually explain to me why everybody was so doomer about him in the Season 2 patch, because I've contended the whole time that I thought everybody was being melodramatic.
So he has been nerfed 2 patches in a row. It's just that he still has tools.
Right.
He's you know, he's not Kid Buu, but he definitely is still not getting nerfed into oblivion, but forcing the burst out here, using the newer Gunflame to try and stall out the Sin approach as well.
Yeah, Hamilton Rye's ground game right now is looking immaculate. Unfortunately, gets caught out on that air throw there. Wow, the Oki was a little bit early there from Druice, who does get the hit pick up this time, has to spend a whole lot of resources there. We got no stamina out of that meat. I don't know what buff they got.
Yeah, so I believe none of the food gives stamina back anymore.
Yeah, I have to double check.
They're all just different buffs, and I don't know what blue is, but
I think blue is move speed, is what I have just pulled up here on Dust Loop, which, how exciting.
And you'll never know how much or for how long that buff lasted.
Oh, clipped out of that backdash. There was the backdash you were speaking to. Nice punish on the DP there, as Hamilton Rye has a big pickup. Clean hit Volcanic Viper for even more off-the-wall damage there.
And then just closing it out with the JP. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe that if you actually let Sin get the second part of his DP by spending some of that stamina bar, I believe he's safe. Maybe not plus, but at least safe. The problem is, you're airborne for so long, everybody just interrupts you with a close slash for free. Red RC. Jesus. Soul Bad Guy is so cool.
He does so much damage. Is definitely still a strong character, a strong contender. D's Aqua says the follow-up is very -2. So I have Dust Loop open on the side. Yeah, it looks like it's still minus. It's just often spaced out in such a way where it is not necessarily punishable.
Okay. Let's say I thought it was better frame advantage. Oh, my Dust Loop broke. Nice.
Yeah, it says it's still -8, assuming that I'm reading this right.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it. It would make sense. Yeah, the follow-up is...
Duel 1.
Oh no, the Hawk Baker follow-up is on block -19.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the DP.
So the DP, it's... Well, so, yeah, so the Hawk Baker DP has the 2 parts where he goes up in the sky and then he can come back down.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong move. I'm sorry.
So the DP itself, -26, totally makes sense for a reversal. But then, yeah, the second part is still -19. I thought it was not that. But either way, Drew's going to go in there with a nice little ankle pick.
Oh, okay. Wanted to play something of a spacing game here. And it's interesting, right? I said at the top of the set that, you know, Sin can still control the space on the screen decently well, but I think Hamilton Rye is using Saul's movement so effectively that it's sort of nullifying the degree of ground control that Druice on the Sin would be bringing to the table. So it just, when you have the amount of movement and the control of the movement that Hamilton Rye is exhibiting, that control on the screen only matters so much.
Yeah, and I mean, even here, just every button from Soul Bad Guy seems to be coming out faster. Every hit seems to be doing more damage. There's a reason why he's the original Tyrant Rave. Sin's just a copy. Forced a burst here for his set life.
Oh, we're going to have the pickup here. We had more damage in the back if we needed it, but we did not need it. Hamilton Rye is going to move on with that one. Plays in a winner's side, top 16. There's this weird OS that happens where people want to be like, see, the game is solved, and here's all the people that are keeping everything locked down. And we're going to have plenty of lockdown going on in this set as iDom on the Testament. Oh, I was about to say has Saftig locked down in the corner, but you cannot put the roof over Saftig. They will get out in some form or another.
This is definitely going to be an interesting matchup. I mean, Mike playing the Soul Bad Guy already interesting enough. They've been pretty content rocking the Happy Chaos. That was so grimy, using the Stain State to keep Mike in the air, blocking while they teleport behind him. That is some nasty mix coming out there from iDom. 6P from Testament, one of the best buttons in the game at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Testament just has great buttons in general, I think, and this is in a similar manner to what I would have expected in the Sin matchup. I feel like Testament should be able to exhibit a fair degree of control on the ground. I think the thing is, Testament's control cycles back on itself better than Sin. You know, the way that Testament generates and consumes their resource is much more self-cycling than Sin's is.
Yeah. And then Stain State obviously playing a huge part of that, being able to end almost any combo or any meaty with that option and just crush people's hopes and dreams with it.
What a pickup.
It's brutal.
Calling out Sister. We're going to get the wall break here. Stain State is going to be applied, so iDom gets to set up whatever mix they want. Just clipped with the dash up low beast for the perfect iDom, closing out the first game in short order. Hopefully leaving ample time here for me to remind all of you to go and please use those coupon codes there on the Matcherino. 36 codes left. That is $9 to go into the prize pool. That would not go to these players were it not for you taking those codes. So please exclamation Matcherino in the chat and go and claim those codes so that these players can get paid.
Arbiter Sign's such a funny move. I always look at the numbers on it and be like, wow, that worked. DP.
It's a high-low projectile, right? Like, you treat it like a projectile.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty quick. But yeah, no, Mike using the 2K there to get the pickup with the wall splat. And iDom just challenging back with a 2K of their own.
Love this. I mean, Testament's 2K is great. Oh my god, what a smart teleport. Okay, PRC back, but Saftig expects that there's going to be a defensive choice out of iDom. Nice. Underneath the crow, but we're not going to have time for the pickup. 5D tap is going to be enough to close that one out. Saftig salvages that round.
Yeah, I mean, the damage coming in here from Soul, still more than enough to rip rounds apart. That's 6P. It's crazy, chat. 2K2D.
Oh! I love the layers there. The fact that once the stain was applied, iDom took the opportunity to throw the crow out so that 5H teleport, the stain would cover it and earn iDom a free mix-up. That was such a great sequence out of iDom and way to bring layers to the ground-based offense. He's stuck in the corner here, though, and Saftig is going to get that big pickup. We're definitely going to have the damage, especially with the RC. We had plenty to go, and Saftig answers back with a game of their own.
That bandit coming down and literally just clipping the toes of Testament to take the round. Super duper clean there. I don't think he could have done that again if he tried, but definitely working out there from Mike, capitalizing when given the opportunity, and yeah, tied up the score one apiece. And this is a banger set. This is something that you would expect to be seeing in top 8, and we're seeing it in top 16.
I frankly expect that when we watch Casas at this point. Once you get to top 16, it's largely bangers. The people that enter these brackets are all so strong, and you know, for a game like Strive where the netcode is as strong as it is, there's, you know, if you're really actively competing in the game, you can put on this high octane max level performance that we all appreciate to see so much. That's an accident, right?
No!
Oh no, wanted a pickup.
It almost
nice
worked.
Back throw from iDom.
Mike
lockdown
does sometimes throw out the command grab there occasionally. All right, gets the burst out.
Oh man, nice spacing there from Saftig, setting up a little shimmy there as iDom tries to stick out the 2K, try to earn themselves a little bit of space, but it's not going to work out for them. We get back to this mid-range, nice 6P pickup, and we managed to get the stain applied there. What a pickup!
That was sick. Oh, the dust not being close enough to actually saving iDom there from the DP attempt. Didn't recognize where the succubi were, so the crow goes to the moon. But Mike able to get out of there with a revolver of their own.
Yeah, I think iDom is having a, up until just then, was having a little bit of a harder time keeping the crow applied in the way that they wanted to. Blue RC backdrift from Saftig forces iDom to spend the rest of his tension. Oh, what a low crush!
That's been working so much here for Mike tonight. Does have a lot of life to chew through here, but he's so bad guy. Health is just a thought process. It's just a mental state. It's not real.
It's a social construct.
No. That's frame data. That's totally different.
Okay, sorry. I forgot for a second. Nice pickup there from iDom. Saftig is forced to spend the bursts to try to keep themselves going. Oh, wow. Clipped by the EXE beast. We got a fair bit of corner carry out of it. Saftig has to zip around the screen right now just to try to earn the breathing room to get the party started, and the party has indeed started.
Yeah, we all heard that big counter come up from the screen. iDom probably trying to 6P it, but that's one of the things having an air stall does allow you to do, is mess with people's timings on a lot of things. And early in this set, Mike was getting 6P'd a lot by iDom, and there it is again. Just trying to stick that button out there. There's not a lot of recovery on it, so you can get away with it sometimes. Not this time, though.
Yep, that's going to be game 2 there for Mike Saftig. And we're going to have to see how is iDom going to adjust around this. I think one of the difficulties that iDom has been having is, I think Saftig's air movement has been really hard for iDom to shut down, and the 6P alone isn't really doing it. I think iDom might need to use a little bit more of like grounded H Gravedigger or air S Gravedigger and try to control more of that up forward vector on the screen, that up forward quadrant, and keep Saftig a little bit more honest in their approach, because there's just so much aerial mobility coming out of Saftig that iDom is not answering.
And the other option is that iDom could just win.
I mean, sure. Well, that's always an option.
But no, we do head into game 4 here. Gonna have iDom taking first hit, though. Trapped in the corner already. The 5K anti-air. You can't be getting around those 3 frames.
Oh, man. It's fine. We're still safe. The burst, nothing really comes of it. But oh my god, Saftig wasted their burst by mistake, and then still in the subsequent scramble managed to get a whole lot of mileage out of it, as iDom is still on the back foot, smoked out by the gunflame. The amount of mid-range control coming out of like max range gunflame has also been a huge detriment here for iDom. I wonder whether iDom might need to introduce some verticality here.
It is entirely possible. I mean, we've seen iDom in the past, operate around a JD using lots of air Grave Reapers and things like that, and we just haven't really seen that this set. But I mean, I think the gunflame usage from Mike has really been kind of pivotal in a lot of these matches we've seen from his sole bad guy lately. Obviously taking full advantage of the changes this season to that. It's a buff overall, so take advantage of it when you can. Oh, iDom sticking out that 2K 2D.
Gonna throw out the crow, but once again, right, Saftig is doing such a great job of recognizing when iDom is going to stick the crow out and just trying to navigate around it. The way that Saftig is engaging with the stain state defensively has been a huge problem here.
Is that enough?
For iDom, and I think Saftig
yes!
The clean hit with the wall break damage is going to do it. Oh my god. What do you want from me?
Anyway, we got Smitty versus Herbz. We got Giovanna versus Jacko. A very interesting match, to say the least.
Wow, okay, immediately Herbz has a fair bit of control here as Smitty is stuck in the corner. Wanted to try to get out, but clipped out by this minion control. Is Smitty going to be able to navigate any of this? Holding on to that burst for dear life.
Is able to bust out of the corner there with a 5P of their own. Trying to get a little bit done here. Does go for the overdrive, gets him through the wall, and this is the first step of clawing this life lead back. Goes for the Oki, can't quite connect.
Goes for that pickup. Herbz trying to use that JD to control the screen a little bit more, fight out of the corner. Nice snipe there from Smitty, but oh, when is the burst going to come out? Yeah, you die. You just die with the burst at this point.
No! What happened? The YRC on a minion, but it didn't connect with Jacko, so I guess the minion was safe. We are going to see a couple minions come out. The recovery of busting one minion gets hit by the other one. The timing.
Right. Okay, meaty minion gets set up. We've got the sandwich mix up here that Smitty does not want to be on the receiving end of. Wow, Herbz is doing a great job of cycling this offense, and I feel like Smitty is spending most of their attention on FD to try.
Gonna be more than enough damage here to close out the round. Just kidding? That overdrive did nothing.
Absolutely not. I mean, sometimes you end up on the back foot there, just like we're on the back foot with these codes because we are a little bit behind schedule. 33 codes left. I know that some of y'all have shown some love and are using them, but there is more that can be done. There's still plenty of codes to use, and that money, as we say every time, costs you nothing, but if you do not claim it, our players do not see it. So please take that moment, maybe in between rounds, if not certainly in between sets, to go and make sure that happens. Early burst there from Herbz as Smitty gets the strongest round start that they have had so far.
And it's immediately kind of taken away from them. They are able to 5k a lot of the minions away, which has been a great starter. Can't quite get the link. They didn't delay that 2H enough. Trying to get into the corner, out of the corner. Nice trade there for Herbz. And this is just a tough matchup if you don't know how to go about it, right? Jacko is a knowledge check character. They will run your pockets if you're not used to playing against them. And up till now, that was kind of what Herbz was doing. Smitty, though, finally getting a little bit of a momentum back.
Yeah, they have to pick up there to be able to close that one out. And I think as this set goes on, if Smitty gets more comfortable with where they have to try to take their turns back, it's going to be difficult for Herbz because I think while a lot of, you're absolutely right that there's elements of knowledge check to Jacko. I think what a lot of players that play Jacko could struggle with is when people know and you have to start to innovate and bring like layer 2 and layer 3, it can be a little bit harder. Oh my god, speaking of layers though, I don't know what direction we're supposed to be blocking. PRC keeps them safe as we force Smitty back into the corner, but the far slash working out great here for Smitty. There is so much ground control that's coming out of that in this matchup.
Oh, that was cheeky, using the BRC to drop the minion for a little bit momentum backwards, and then just for the 2k. The JD comes out at round start as well, ties up the round score. Herbz already having burst. Smitty will get one back, but it is not always easy to burst this character.
No, I think a lot of these characters that have, a myriad of tools that can make them a little bit more disjointed can be a little bit harder to deal with. Herbz has these minions in place, but once again, Smitty, as the round goes on, is doing a much better job of dealing with Herbz's offense and sticking out pokes in the right spot. They've got Herbz backed up all the way to this corner. Nice back throw, and we've got the damage in the back. Are we going to be able to kill here if we get the... That should be close enough for the wall break?
Oh, no, just short. 5D, though, covers the damage required. Smitty putting one on the board here to tie it up one apiece. So, good stuff there from Smitty. Nice adaptions to come back towards it. Keeping the Jacko minions at bay.
We do have updates in the interim from the other winner's side top 16 match. The winner of this is going to end up moving on to play MJ Karase in winner's side top 8. One game apiece right now with Smitty having gotten that last game in an early burst there out of Smitty. And I feel like what Herbz really needs in order to keep this matchup going in their favor is to really contend with the burst and the YRC in an intelligent way and make sure that they don't leave gaps for Smitty to try to swing back. Every time Smitty gets to stick out a far slash
that was so deep.
And engage with a minion, they end up working really well in their favor. Herbz is able to close out that round.
Yeah, I mean, multi-hitting moves are fairly solid against the minions as long as you're not getting crossed up by them. The other option is the fastest button you can get. So we see a lot of players opt for like 2K or something. Or 2P is ideal as well. 6P, is a stellar option, as we just saw there.
Ooh.
Little aggressive. Doesn't go for the other side. Oh, we're teching?
All right. Gets the minion. We slow it down a little bit. Herbz trying to close this one out. Smitty still has the burst in the back. Okay. With 1 minion on the board. Oh, that's a fair bit of screen control available to them here, though. How far is Herbz going to be able to press this? So much respect out of Smitty, just blocking in front of it.
If you get trapped in the corner here, this is horrible. You're going to lose all of your tension bar to the FD spam. And look at that. Too far away to get any kind of approach going. Has to just walk and block it, and there's not enough time to actually block at that point.
Right, well, that puts us at 2-1 here for Herbz. Is Smitty going to be able to make the adjustments that they need here in order to bring this forward? I think they need to be a little bit more active right at like the tip of far slash range. And maybe, I mean, we're not even seeing a whole lot of like Kara 2D that, you know, maybe we see less than usual, but oh, that was an attempt at, I think, a round start far slash, but Herbz really utilizing their tools very effectively.
There's that JP to beat up the minion drop. Worked out pretty effectively there. Gets onto the other side, but immediately challenges out from Herbz. I like to see that.
Using JD, alternating between JD and minions to try to keep this going, but a little bit too much of a gap there as Smitty doesn't believe that they have the time and the respect of their opponent. Trying to force their way out. Oh my god, Herbz is using the shield out of the minion a lot now, and it's making it a little bit harder for Smitty to try to take their turn. Clipped by the low. Any poke would do it. 2P mash is going to be enough to do it. Herbz is up. Pay no attention to the overlay. Herbz is up 2-1 and on set point now.
Going to go with that JD just to, like you said, Brad, mix it up a little bit between minion and the fireball, because the fireball, obviously, you can't 6P it. The minion, you can definitely punch him in the face. Is going to use that PRC to get out of dodge, but 2K2D again from Herbz, just throwing out the mix. How many times can you get hit low?
Okay, Herbz is even trying to bring out elements of like trying to bait the anti-air choices out of Smitty. I like Smitty's attempt there to just double dash through the whole screen, trying to make something happen, but we're not getting a whole lot out of it. And Herbz is recognizing the life lead that they have and is just ensuring that they control the screen. This is the chance now for Smitty to try to press the issue as the minion gauge is gone, but Herbz is able to get the 1 minion out, and it is all that they need. Herbz is going to take that dub and move on to play against MJ Karasa in the win. Any of these counter pokes that Itachi's Legacy is throwing out. Wow, the patience to wait for the kite, but still comes down with a button, does Itachi's Legacy. Are we going to stay same side? Yes, we are. We're going to go for the throw on the reset. A second throw? That was going to be 3.
Yes, yes. You always go for 3.